We are live, Mr. Bradley Powers.
We certainly are. Hi there, everybody. My name is Bradley Powers, and I'd like to introduce you to another edition of the legendary Esoteric Hours with co-host Jim Andre in the house,
Hi,
energy
everybody.
healer and alien abductee.
So we're supposed to have Benny here. He's not here yet. Probably have to change the format somewhat.
We're born, we live, we die.
That we're sure of, right?
Are we? There's a little bit more to it than that. Life is full of purposefulness.
Oh, yeah?
That's what life is.
So you don't see being born, living and dying as black and white, huh?
No.
No.
Not at all. No, not black and white.
That's an illusion.
It's grey. Life
Us being born, living and dying is an illusion, is what you're saying.
Life
It's
is
just an illusion. So if that within itself is an illusion, everything else in existence must be an illusion.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Great. Yeah.
If you could think that being born, living, and dying is not a fact and not black and white, then nothing is a fact and black and white. Am I right?
Yeah. We should also be discussing.
So what do you consider anything in this world black and white?
Black and white.
Yeah.
Black and white. Great.
Because when I say that we're born, we live, we die, you tell me, and I say that's facts, you tell me it's not in black and white. So if that within itself is not in black and white, is there anything in your opinion within our existence that is black and white?
What, black and white? You know, black and white. What is black and white? Don't you believe in the grey? 50 Shades of Grey, you know.
Well, yeah, but I mean, if I say that we're born, we live, we die, we know that happens. That's not a theory. That's not an assumption. That's not a belief. That's a fact. Anything else beyond that is merely innuendo and speculation, matter of opinion, not factual.
There you have it. You're like a campaign, an advertising campaign for nicotine, you.
Well, you're the one that's smoking right now. I'm not. I think you're trying to steal my job from the tobacco companies. Or you know that the tobacco companies are paying me here in America, and you're hoping to get paid over there in England. Is that it?
Yeah. Yeah. So how long have you been smoking then, Jim?
Since, let's see, 53 years.
Wow, really? I actually give up once for a couple of years.
I started smoking at 16, and I'm 69 now. So that's 56 years. No, 53 years.
I started smoking to make me look hard.
Smoking
Right now,
is the only bad vice I have. I don't drink. I don't smoke weed. I don't do any mind-altering drugs.
maybe
I'm high on
have
life.
you tried?
I'm
Have you
high.
tried?
I get high. I get high on life.
Have you tried mind-altering drugs?
When I was younger, yes, but I mean, I get a mind of my own. I don't need anything to alter it. I get a fully functioning brain. I don't need anything to enhance it. Now, when you take, if and when you ever took mind-altering drugs, was that in black and white?
It was grey. Yeah, I've dabbled. I've been around the block a few times.
All right, so what I'm asking is, what you experienced, do you think that was factual or just Fig Newton of your imagination?
No, hallucinations.
Hallucination.
In
So
theory.
what do you get out of that? Just the in other
I
words,
enjoy it. I surf the Cosmos, Jim. Enjoy the ride. Really?
you enjoy the ride. You can't enjoy the ride you're on now. You
Oh,
have to
I can.
enhance
Yeah.
it. You have to enhance it, right?
Sometimes I like a bit of turbo.
I get high on life naturally.
Yeah, I do too. To be honest with you.
John Mormon is with us. Hi, John.
John Mormon. Hi there, John Mormon. Thank you for joining us. Welcome to the English and American Bradley Powers.
It's the English and American Jim Andre and Bradley Powers.
So, my question is, who is your favorite Facebooker?
I don't play favorites. I respect everybody equally.
Ooh.
Who is your favorite Facebooker?
All right then. Okay, you did ask me. You. Really? Be
Hi,
honest.
Jenny. Jenny Parton is with us.
You, Cassidy Lightwing.
Well, that isn't the question you asked. You said, who is your favorite? Now you just named two favorites.
Yeah, I got quite a few actually. Candy Fowler, Daisy Linita. We have Roxanne Solomon lined up for Sunday's show. She is a hypnotherapist. So that should be quite a riveting show to watch.
Hypnotherapist, huh? Maybe she can regress me.
Maybe, maybe you need therapy as well, Jim. Everybody could do with a little bit of therapy.
Well, I'm talking about hypnotic. Talking about hypnotic regression.
Gosh, I'm sharing with ease at this very moment in time. It distresses me a little when the esoteric intellect reject our show. Occultic knowledge and esoteric science, they reject the show. I find
Chris Joan Marie is in the house. Hi, Chris. Why? Who's rejecting the show?
Oh, esoteric. And we are esoteric. We invented esoteric. A lot of people don't even know what esoteric means. You know. To be honest. Oh yeah, and David Icke. Are you familiar with David Icke, Jim?
I am. Yeah, he's pretty good. I like some of the things that he talks about.
I don't follow anyone. However, I watched David Icke once, and I thought, wow, me and him we're on the same page. Unbelievable. And yet I don't even follow him. Where he gets his information from is quite astonishing, really. That
Yeah,
we should think.
I agree with a lot of what he says.
Yeah, I do. Some say he's actually a paid government informant.
Well, that's a possibility. That is a possibility. You can't trust the government. We know that. I mean,
yeah,
I wouldn't trust them as far as I could throw them, and obviously that wouldn't be very far.
Yeah, I don't believe that actually. Paid government informant. Don't believe that at all. Yeah, I'm quite happy with that. So, afternoon, John Moorman, and also Jenny Parton is in the house. Hi there, Jenny. And Chris Joan Marie. She says, hola, hola, gentlemen. Always a pleasure, my friends. It's always a pleasure to have you near us. Yes, so we're born, we live, we die.
Well, that we can be sure of, right?
Well, that's a show over then, isn't it, really? We born, we live, we die. It's a little bit more than that. Life is about seeking ascension. Life is about purposefulness. We're all here with a purpose. The thing is, we don't all recognise what our purpose is here. That's what we don't recognise.
Chris is saying that hola is Spanish. LOL.
Thank you for speaking to me in Spanish, even though I am not Spanish. We say hello or all right. You get me?
She says she doesn't speak much Spanish, but knows many Spanish people.
I mostly know English and Welsh. I don't really know any other cultures.
Jenny Parton says, hi, Bradley. Good to see you.
Thank you, Jenny Parton. It's a pleasure to have you near us. Well, what happened to our guest, hey? Something has happened to our guest. Teleported?
I don't
Could it
know.
be a time loop?
Well, he may have gotten abducted. That's another possibility.
Yeah, abductions. Abductions do happen. We can't deny that. Not going to lie.
If he teleported, he would probably appear right beside you.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe he's lost in space.
That's a good possibility, especially if he's been abducted.
I've got 450 friend requests that I probably won't be accepted.
Joan Marie's making me hungry now. She's eating some lovely tacos.
Tacos. You're familiar with tacos?
I am.
I've shared the show 31 times. So, my question for you, Jim, is: are you proud of your achievements so far? Please feel free to answer in the forum, everyone. Are you proud of your achievements so far?
Here's Benny. Our guest has arrived.
Hello, how you guys doing? Sorry about that.
Better late than never.
Houston traffic here, man. How you doing, Jim and Bradley?
Good. How are you?
We thought you'd been abducted.
Yeah, maybe. No, not yet. I think they're after me, but not yet.
My question for you, Benny and Jim, is: are you proud of your achievements so far?
Well, I haven't done anything that I'm ashamed of, if that answers your question.
I would jump in there. I would say that I am because of what I do. I look to, I don't know about pride because pride is something that you have to be aware of. I'm happy with the accomplishments that I've made, and I know that I've helped a few people with a lot of the different knowledge I've learned from you guys, along with what I've known as a minister, preaching out of the Bible and learning more about the Bible now, and being able to go in different directions now with not just the Bible. So I think I would say that I'm a little proud of my accomplishments so far, Bradley.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good answer. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm a roller coaster ride. I am. So it's debatable. I've helped a lot of people as well, actually. Well, that's what I do for a living. That's my job. I'm a spiritual advisor, and I help people. I've even helped people spirits trapped in purgatory, 15 to be exact. I helped them find the other side and offered them help them find sanctuary.
How would you say they were trapped in purgatory? That's one of the things that I have a lot of debates about with a lot of people, because purgatory is not talked about in a lot of churches and in the Bible. And how would you help them out of purgatory?
Because they committed suicide. They took their life themselves. They didn't rely on God to take it. They committed suicide. Young men they were, actually. 15 young men. Committed suicide. Driven to suicide by demons. From this side of life, believe it or not.
Wow.
Oh,
Benny disappeared. Let me ask you, Bradley, if they're driven suicide by demons, it wouldn't be the fault of the victim that committed suicide. So why should they be punished in purgatory for that action?
Because if you commit suicide, purgatory is exactly where you will end up. And you are not, it doesn't end there. When you are in purgatory, you can still be victimized and attacked by demons in purgatory.
Well, a lot of people feel that Earth is purgatory. During the course of a natural lifetime, you experience the very effects of a heaven and a hell right here on Earth.
I agree with that. Chris Joe Marie says, agreed. Suicide takes you to a purgatory, says Chris Joe Marie. Your mind stays in a trance. Yes, some people relive the traumatic event of suicide over and over and over and over again in purgatory. Yeah.
You know, Benny, while you were gone, I was telling Bradley that purgatory, a lot of people think purgatory is right here on Earth because during the course of a natural lifetime, you feel the very effects of a heaven and a hell right here on Earth.
I do. I think so. I mean, in my studies, because of the concept of what it talks about purgatory, before that you can get into heaven, for those that wasn't all the way ready at the time, that they'd have to spend the time in this area where they had to make all their wrongs right, make atonements for everything that they've done in their lifetime, and to wrong the sins before they can be decided to go off into heaven or hell. It's not a heaven or a hell. It's the in-between. And I believe that we're in there.
That's right. And that makes sense to me, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we're in between right here. There's no doubt about that. We'll always have that inner struggle here on Earth within this dimension.
Yes, sir.
Some believe hell is here on Earth. Some believe that. I had a young man, his name was Chris. He came to me. He presented a typewriter in front of me and typed out the words "help me," and I spurred and helped 15 young men to find the gates of heaven where they would be allocated to the correct location. There are many levels of purgatory, says Chris Joe Marie, and you are totally right, Chris Joe Marie. There is many levels of purgatory.
She also says that it's like a jail, so to speak, and we are living on a prison planet.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, purgatory is like a jail. Absolutely. But however, you can be set free. Your chains can be released from you if someone performs a sermon on your behalf, like a priest, a shaman, a witch, a light worker, a psychic medium. There are many. A minister can set you free from purgatory if they perform a sermon on your behalf.
Hmm. Do you believe,
Yeah.
Bradley, that because in the Bible, well, in the readings in the Bible, I should say, because all Bibles aren't the same, it talks. It doesn't say that someone puts you there. It says that you get put there or you remain there until your atonements. Do you believe that some are put there for certain reasons in
Yeah.
purgatory?
Yeah, you're put there because you ended your life yourself without consent of the Lord.
Mm.
So you're saying the 8 billion people on this planet committed suicide, and that's why we're here in
No,
purgatory.
when you no, this is not purgatory. That's an expression that you're using now. This is not purgatory. Purgatory is not here now. Although for some people living here in this realm, this beautiful planet is like a purgatory to them. Or you could even say that it's like hell on Earth.
Yeah.
Hell here
Well,
on Earth in this realm.
well,
Although
I
I
believe.
don't feel that way.
I also believe that some of us, even though we're living here on the same planet, in the same oxygen, in the same time, are not living in the same world in our mind. That, like they say, the universe is what you make it, and whatever, you put into it and what your mind believes. So if someone's mind believes that they're somewhere else and they're in a different country, in a whole different type of society that doesn't have our type of technology, they could be in a different world. They could actually, could slip into a purgatory or into another type of dimension that we're unaware of, because there's parts of the world that we haven't visited, and there's things on this planet that are mystical, as you tell me all the time. And I
Yeah,
believe that some people might be wandering around, or some souls, I should say souls or spirits are wandering around, and I believe in a purgatory, or a sort of a purgatory here on Earth, or somewhere in this realm, because I think we're bumping into them, just like we bump into the ghosts on this realm that are made of electromagnetic energy, like pretty much everything else in our universe. But that's a good subject to get into. I really want to get into the purgatory part of it, Bradley. That is something that I really been wanting to get into.
purgatory is the grey. It's not black and white. Christian
Mhm.
Marie says some have sentences that you cannot break. They must serve. You can pray for them. It takes years off their sentence if you pray for them. Jenny
Mm.
Parton says, I feel that we dropped our consciousness, light workers, to save those who are stuck in the timeline or consciousness. And Christian Marie says, this is not purgatory. Purgatory is not here or now. I was taught to think that with being Catholic for so many years, you were taught to live a purgatory here. That's not true. I agree with that. Purgatory is not here.
Right, right.
Purgatory is between realms.
Well, like what Christian Marie said, she said with growing up Catholic, and they said that living a purgatory here, that's the concept that I had read on through the Catholic Church about that's where you hear about purgatory more in Catholic Church than you hear in Baptist Church.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would love to hear more concepts on purgatory.
Well, I am not religious, although I do follow Jesus Christ. I
Right.
follow Jesus of Nazareth, and I follow the Christ consciousness, which are both slightly different, actually. And
Yeah.
I do feel that, yeah, I am Christian.
Mhm.
And it's okay to be a Druid, a Hierophant, and a Christian. Following Jesus Christ, that's fine.
Mhm.
Because I don't believe, I don't sign up to the dogma, you know,
But you
either.
don't you don't believe that Jesus died for our sins? Or
It's all debatable, to be honest with you. Jesus is full of love. He came here with the message, and Christianity follows the messenger, not the
yes,
message, which
yes.
is not exactly what he actually shared. And Joe Pawlowski says everything is inverted here. The planet is quite beautiful, which it is. It could be paradise, but so many suffering exists here that it seems that it might be a level of hell. Perhaps the beauty is a trap. And
Well,
yeah, John Mormon says purgatory for Christianity has always been difficult. I should actually study the Hebrew, three heavens. Hi there, Shannon Bumgard. Thank you for joining us. Chris Joe Marie says everything is true. All that you know has a truth. How you see it. Shannon Bumgard says I've seen purgatory and people that were sent there as well. Thank you for sharing that with us, Shannon. It's a pleasure to have you all here. And I say, don't let those who cannot see convince you that you are hallucinating. What do they know? What do they know?
Yes, I really believe that, because I was watching something about the Manchurian Candidate, and it was just talking about all the drugs that were introduced into to the men to try to make super weapons and the remote viewing and everything else. But the point is that that most of us, we had those type of energies and powers in us anyway. It was just to figure how to use them, because everybody wasn't meant to use those type of energies and powers that that man was given. That's why when you see certain magicians, some magic is true. Some magic, they talk about magic in the Bible, but then nowadays that in common churches and everything, they shun magic and the type of mystic studies and beliefs and everything. So nobody knows what to believe anymore. Everyone is just stuck in confusion, and to me, that is a purgatory. Confusion to me is purgatory, because they say in hell it's going to be what, burning and brimstone and fire and confusion everywhere. If you have confusion, what else is it? We have confusion with COVID. We have confusion with wars going on in the world. We have confusion with our governments and policemen and everything. This isn't a normal world that was meant for man. This wasn't what God meant for man. It got changed from the serpent in the Garden of Eden. And I have a friend that blames all women on earth for making us in this situation. I don't, but you know, some men say that if we wasn't tempted and if she didn't, we could still be in that Garden of Eden. But I don't believe so. I believe that things happen for a reason. Everything happens for a reason.
Everything happens for a reason. Yeah.
I see something.
Yeah, Joe Polaski says everything is inverted here. The planet is quite beautiful. It could be paradise, but so much suffering exists here that it seems that it might be a level of hell. Perhaps a beauty is a trap.
Yes. Well, sir, you do know that when you look through your eyes, everything is reversed. What you're seeing in your eyes is reversed. We are living inverted, because your eyes change everything back when you see it, because your eyes it's going back like this into the receptors in your eyes. So everything that we're seeing is reversed. And plus, with all the dark matter around us, we don't know what this is in this empty space anyway. And we're affected by it, but we have no idea what it is. So, you know, when you talk about, you know, the beautifulness, yes, we live in the beautiful part that we can see, that we can touch, but there's more to this world. There's a lot more to this world.
Shannon Boomgod says she's seen purgatory and people that were sent there. Maybe she could enlighten us on what purgatory is.
Please do.
Yeah. People who end their life, who terminate their life before their destiny has expired, end up in purgatory. The magic in the Bible that you're referring to are actually called miracles. There is no magic in the Bible. Magic in the Bible is miracles. Miracles are what was manifested by God or angels. They're called miracles. Everything magic outside of the Bible, that is known as black magic.
Right, but they do speak of magic in the Bible. That Moses performed miracles, but they said that there were jinn that performed magic.
Yeah, jinn perform magic as well. Absolutely. Yeah, jinn are real, actually do exist. Sherry Brett says, hey guys. Daisy Lynn Eaton says, hi Sherry, glad you are here. Hi there, Daisy Lynn Eaton, thank you for joining us. Shannon Boomgard says, it's possible, Daisy Lynn Eaton, that there are levels of purgatory. Yes, I agree with that too. There are levels, that's right. The same as there are 7 levels of heaven, 7 levels of hell, although some say there's 14. So like that's debate as well.
I've never heard levels of hell. I've heard the seven levels of heaven and 13 levels of heaven, but I've never heard levels of hell.
Yeah,
Never heard
the
that.
King Leviathan is the supreme ruler of the seventh realm of hell. That's how I know about the levels of hell. And I have actually moved with King Leviathan using telepathy. And yeah, I actually believe him as well. And he was also listed in the Bible as a devil as well. Admittedly, he has a checkered past. However, demons and devils can redeem themselves by enhancing the lives of mankind and do your bidding for you if you so wish it, I believe.
Daisy Lynn Eaton says, I think this is sort of a purgatory, still a testing place. I agree with that.
Yeah, that's it.
I do.
School
I do
of life.
also. I believe
The
so.
school of life. The school of life is the hardest school in the universe, in the cosmos. The school of life.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. The purpose of this game.
Do you believe in KI? What's KI stand for? Minister KI.
KI, Ki, the Anunnaki god, Ki of the earth.
Right, okay.
You know, the Ki was
Anunnaki.
Well, there's the Anunnaki god, which is Ki, Ki. She's the feminine, and she's of the earth and of love. And that was her main attributes. And what I had found in a dream, you know, at one time I changed, you know, my nickname, it used to be Kid Rock, the man who does it nonstop, from skating rink days back in 1984, 85. Then you had Kid Rock, the rock star, come along. So I changed my name to just Kid. And then when I got to Houston here, I just shortened it to KI. And then when I started studying about Anunnaki, I found the Anunnaki Ki. And I was like, this is kind of coincidence. And then I started studying about Ki and Anu and, you know, Enkidu. And I found that all the attributes of Ki were in me. And that's what I started kind of getting my enlightenment and shining, you know, from there, trying to, you know, and it was kind of putting the puzzles together that this is what I'm doing. I'm out here teaching what Anunnaki do. All the Anunnakis did on Earth were teach. That's everything that they had on them, from the Bluetooths in their ears, the watches on their wrists. Everything that they had was to teach mankind, whether it was to dig for gold, which is the most precious thing in the universe. Everyone says that Anunnaki came and made them slaves and they were so bad and they're here to rule, you know, take over the earth and destroy mankind. Why would they do that when they help mankind build civilization and build everything else? So there's a lot of different debates, huh?
Not only that, but I mean, with their advanced technology, they could harvest all the gold they wanted. They didn't need to turn man into slaves to do that.
Right. And, you know, some people say that they turned, but they didn't turn all through history. They didn't turn them into slaves completely. I mean, first you had the Igigi, that was a captured, you know, alien race that they had. And there's remnants of the Igigi still here. We talk about the Agnaki and the reptilians and the, you know, all these other different races. No one talks about the Igigi was one of the original ones here with the Anunnaki, or the reptilian.
Well, demigods, I believe. Demigods.
Yes. Yeah, and they said that they were a captured race that the Anunnaki brought here.
John Mormon says, one man's spell is another man's prayer, is another man's miracle. Thank you for sharing that with us, John. Shannon Bumgold says, purgatory is a place that people have to go when they have not valued their life. That's a very good point. And they go through their life to fix their soul before they can ascend. Purgatory is not hell. Their life. Thank you for sharing that, Shannon. Sherry Brett said, I see the world very different, and we were all made by something else. I believe in God, but not the way he spoke of in this world. Is a place you were sent to, write yourself, and to learn. That's right. Thank you for sharing that. And hi there, Vic Makarov. Thank you for joining us. Yes, I like it's quite a mixed flavour in the forum today. Know thyself before judging others. Do you judge, criticise, or mock others? I don't. I have a policy I follow. Never mock, criticize, or judge unless you can judge yourself.
Yeah,
Hi there,
judge not
Ghost House
lest you-
Paranormal. Ghost House Paranormal. Marianne Clark is in the house. Thank you for joining us.
Hi, Marianne.
Hey, Marianne.
How long have you been an Anunnaki teacher, Benny?
I believe, let me see, now it's 2022, so probably about 4 years. 4 years I picked up the reins with the Anunnaki and Inky. And every day I go down, to where I say morning prayers on Kirkwood here in Bissonnette, and there's a brother named Chief that he preaches about Israel, and that's the only thing that he'll talk about is Israel. And we get to discussing about the Anunnaki, and his views on the Anunnaki is everything comes out of Israel, and the God's chosen people was the Israelites and the Judaism. And my explanation to him was that the start of civilization started in Samaria, Babylon, and Mesopotamia, and that through the I would say, when the different tribes went this way, that way, and everything else after the flood, that's where we begin as us as men, as us as human beings, as the humans that we had, because they said Noah was supposed to be giant. He had more Anunnaki in him than anything. And at that time, before the Noah's time, it was reptilian worship. It was snake worship. They was believed in the snakes and everything else, and wrapping snake skins around them, just like he did in the movie. It was snake worship and the serpent worship back then. So a lot of things have been changed from.
Noah had bulging eyes that glowed, I believe, as well. Yes. Noah was giant. And the oldest writings, would you say, are Sumerian or Sanskrit?
Yes, the oldest should be Sumerian. The cuneiform tablets, they've only deciphered, I think it's 3% of the cuneiform tablets that are still over there. There's over 200 and something thousand tablets that haven't been deciphered yet. Just imagine all the information that we've learned so far about from space, Planet X, Nibiru, and all that from the tablets that they deciphered. Just imagine when they decipher the rest of them. It's going to open the keys to so many other things that we've been wondering about. Yeah, I'm excited because I guess because I'm an Anunnaki teacher, so I want to know everything.
Candy says Moses had horns.
Thank you for sharing that, Candy. Sherry Brett says, I have a life elsewhere, and these are who I am, Lyran and Pleiadian Starseed. Thank you for sharing that with us, Sherry Brett. So you're a Lyran and Pleiadian Starseed. And Starseeds have a message to share with mankind as well. Chris Joe Marie says, some sold their souls, others are in despair. Agreed. I agree with that.
Yes.
Vic Makarov is asking, what about the Chinese? How old are they?
How old are they? What, the little short people?
Well, I would say, with the Chinese, okay, we'll go back to Shiva and the Anunnaki that were over on the Asian side. That you had Shiva, you had I forgot the other one, that the blue one with all the arms and everything. That we've had these demigods around the world for years that have been just to teach, to lead man to do what we should do as a community. That's what these gods was there for. That everybody thinks, okay, they were just there to pray to them, to do this way, and be slaves. No, we didn't have no civilization. They was coming to give these people that was uncivilized, that were warring, that were just killing themselves over and over, structure, which we're going away from again. And that's what, what this world is going to. That's why I believe that purgatory is now, because the structure is gone. We're not living the way it was structured to be, the way God wanted things to be here on earth.
Well, that's the way the world has gone since the beginning of time. Every
True.
great society that has risen has fallen.
You're
In our
absolutely
our current day society is not going to be any different.
Yes, sir. You're absolutely right. Absolutely right. And to change it, it's impossible. Well, I'm not saying it's impossible to change. Like what you asked me earlier about the if it was down from 95 million to 5 million, what would be the advantages and disadvantages? The disadvantages is, to me, is less people on the planet to help. The advantages is more resources for the people. So, like you said, through destruction, sometimes comes the blossom of the flower. So,
right, the balance is so far. The balance is so far out of whack at this point that it's going to take drastic measures to do a major reset.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, the only way a new world can be born is out of the rubble of the old.
From destruction, creation is born.
And that's what they say we're headed to. That's what. Mm-hmm.
I don't know what your theory is about the Cyclops. The existence of the Cyclops is very plausible. It was another of the failed experiments of the Anunnaki. They manipulated the DNA of the Homo habilis by trying to give it size, strength, and intelligence. They managed to measure almost 3 meters tall. The Cyclops were able to lift the horse in weight, but their intelligence did not develop. What do you think about that? The Anunnaki is a failed experiment for the Anunnaki. Was the Cyclops?
Well, everything from those times was Anunnaki, and yeah, of course, it is a failed experiment. Just like the fallen angels, the giants that devoured the earth and devoured man, and the Cyclops was one of the giants of that time that was a devourer of man. It was the curse that God put on man for going against his will. What is that there? That looks cool, Jim. I can't see it.
That's the Cyclops.
Yeah, the Cyclops there.
Yeah, they actually walked the earth. Yes, they did. Yeah, I believe so. I have a question. If aliens ever make contact with the earth, who should represent the human race? I would suggest a druid or a hierophant, because they are not biased, they're not homophobic, they're not racist, and they're not biased, and they would be fair, just but fair, if they represented the human race, if someone had to.
That's an awesome question, Bradley. That right there, with me thinking about that thing that they sent into outer space with the little dish on it that aliens are supposed to be able to read how humans are. That's an awesome question. Who could represent us as humans with peaceful intentions to be able to speak with them? I mean, who would we choose as human beings, as a human, not another? Because I think you said a different race there, or a different being, but that's something that I think that governments and the world should look at. Who should represent mankind when we do have to communicate with them again, if we're going to do it on a world level?
Maybe Biden.
Another question is, with so many alien species, what alien species should we deal with?
Exactly. Yeah. That's why I say that is an excellent question. Who is alliance? Who's the UN of the aliens? What unifications do they have? We don't know a lot of things dealing with what they got going on. Like
exactly.
I said,
I'm sure most of the alien species know of our existence already anyway, whether they send anything up there or they don't.
And I'm sure that they've made alliances between themselves.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but we want to connect the Pleiadians, the Arabians, the Nordics, the benevolent species, really.
From what I've heard in the videos I've watched in Antarctica, from what I've heard is the governments that it came together, France, I believe it's US, Germany, and there's a few others in there, have already made alliances with more than one different alien species. And that's what they're doing and testing and all of that other stuff that they're keeping secret from other parts of the world, like Russia and different areas that have different alliances with different alien races. So we don't know, us as common men, We don't know what alliances is here or there or where. So I don't know how we would throw up a peace sign to a UFO if it's coming with the intentions of these ones over here are bad and these are good, and we never know. So that's a good question, Bradley, that you asked. Who can speak for mankind to these alien races, or
And
who would
should,
be able to have a
right,
concept
and
of peace?
who should we trust as an alien species?
Yes, trust is the main thing. Yes, because people could sell us out so quick, they already have.
Yeah, they have. And would you be willing to jump on a spaceship and leave planet Earth?
Not just anyone, not just any, not just any. I would like to. I tell you, I've said that, and I would like to, because, like I said, I've done so much on this planet, Bradley. I tell you guys truly that I'm not scared of death anymore, and to see something so beautiful, and if it took to see the beauty of being able to travel out there into the outer space and to see something that no one has ever seen, I would take that. I would end this life here to see something better, because it's just been stress, and I mean, it's been beauty on this earth, but it comes a time where you have to make a decision to do something good for others, to go experiment or to go see what's out there. And this is the time. And that's an excellent question too, Bradley. It is, because it's going to come a time where they're going to pull up on you like, you want to ride or you going to stay here?
I would take a ride myself. You know, that'd be better. That'd be better than a Calgon bath. You know, take me away.
Do you think do you think aliens, ETs, do you think the aliens and ETs, the extraterrestrials, are so spiritual they worship or give praise to their own creator? What do you think about that? They worship and give praise to their own creator.
I would believe, because they've been here for so long, that they, you know, millions of years, that they have to be more in tune with their spiritual side than we are. If they master telepathy and you know, and all of these different things that we're just now experimenting with, I think that they probably are more in tune with their maker and creator than we'll ever be. Anything that they do, I think, is more advanced.
Yeah, a question worth sharing. I definitely think so.
It was like, I'm getting all kind of messages coming in, notifications. But yeah, I'm still thinking on that question that you asked. Who could represent mankind to those aliens and beings that are coming and going? And now with the declassification that the governments are doing, they're showing that they're making contact, and they're showing what's their crafts and what's crafts that are not theirs.
Well, you know, Benny, I think what they're doing is trickling that out slowly to lead up to a false flag alien invasion. That's my opinion.
Yes.
You know, they got the holograms. They got the hologram technology today. You can see a spacecraft. It'll look like a real spacecraft up in the sky. They're firing weapons, when in reality, the military will be firing the weaponry. Just fear, like they always use fear as a tool in everything, religion, whatever. They'll put fear into us of the aliens, which could be furthest from the truth.
Right.
Christian Marie says she just believes in everything now. No one religion is right. The correct philosophy for that, Christian Marie, is there's an element of truth in all religions. And also, Christian Marie says, mad love to all you guys here too. Much thank you all for your guidance and support, guys. That's very kind of you, Christian Marie. We are here to share words of wisdom and words of power with you. So thank you for sharing that. Shannon Bumgar says, yes, aliens do believe in a creator.
Yeah, Shannon, I do believe so, because me and Shannon was, I think, speaking a while back one time, and I had asked her about something mystics, and I was telling her that I was feeling different type of contacts now that I did those CE5s. And she had mentioned that, she had said something like that, sometimes that they are in touch with God too. She said something to that effect that kind of rung in my ears. And that kind of made me think. I'm like, well, they are up there near the heavens. And, they're flying around in the heavens where they say that we're all elevating. They say everybody goes up and elevates up there. So they're up there. They should know a little more than us,
I got one viewer that agrees with me, Carol Garcia. That's exactly what I think, Jim.
Yeah.
Yes. And meditation, why should you meditate? Well, because some questions can't be answered by Google. That's why you should meditate.
True. Well, Dr. Stephen Greer also said that was one of the bases of the aliens, is that's how they communicate, is the reason why that he used the triangle of sound, light, and meditation. And I wondered about that, because those are two elements, sound and light, and then you got meditation. It doesn't fit, but it does, he says. Somehow that meditation travels through sound and light. Now that's a theory that I'm trying to figure there, how meditation can travel through sound and light, mental. But that's a whole nother subject. I see a long something there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Candy Fowler says polarization is universal law, and we have the free will to choose which direction we want to polarize in. Service to self or service to others. And this polarization exists in higher densities too, up to the 8th density. The initiation depends on how far the entities refine their chosen direction. If they fail, they do not get to move up in both polarities. If an entity should move past the 9th, they would eventually be reabsorbed, just like everything else in the end, when or where that is.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that. Sherry Brett says meditation is their strongest way they connect, and the tones. Yes, you can plug into the goth frequency, whether you believe that exists. Daisy Lenita says, great answer, Bradley Powell. Thank you for sharing that, Daisy.
Yes, meditation is one of the strongest, because meditation, even prayer, they say, because the power of prayer, when those numbers, like when you're in a church and so many people, the energy of the prayers coming together, so that meditation is a key. I believe it is.
Sherry Brett says meditation is your consciousness. If you connect to it, you can connect to anything.
I believe so. Yes, I believe so. Yes, because I mean, in my mysticism and necromancy, but that's another subject. But meditation is what I use to connect to other people. What I do is I think of their face, I look at something that they typed on there, and then whatever comes to mind, I'll start flashing in front of me. That I know some of the people in the group will see that I'll have flashes, and I'll put flash, and it's because some pictures will start popping in my head. But I'll close my eyes and I'll meditate on it to try to bring it in even clearer. So yes, I do. I practice meditation. That is one of the strongest things I believe on the planet. The mind is the most strongest thing here, because you can make anything manifest, like Bradley says.
Yeah.
The imagination alone is limitless.
Yes. Yes, sir. And that's what, I'm really kind of thinking about what you was talking about, Jim, earlier, about the 5 million and the decrease of population.
8 billion. It's 8 billion. We have a world population of 8 billion. They want to knock it down to by 95%. So that would be like, what? 1 billion maybe? Yeah.
95%.
Or half a billion, yeah.
That is a major number. How many people would that give the United States? What do we have? We got 1 billion here, or 4 billion, or no? We got 400
exactly
million.
Sure, but yeah, that's a lot of individuals.
That would break us down probably 1.5 million in the United States. That would be a lot of empty cities, boy.
Yeah, you know, another thing, like I've said before, is that obviously as world populations increase, so then do the problems of the world.
Yes, yes, they do. You see the food shortages that are going on, medications. Not too long ago, my daughter was the Similac for the babies. It's just here, there. It's all something to keep us scared and
But
fear. But
I
then,
believe that's all by design, though. It's not because there's actually a shortage. It's designed that way.
yeah, but then they
Exactly.
got all this stuff stockpiled in all of these
Out
missile
of control, you
silos
know,
for
they
if something
control
happens.
everything.
Yeah, to hide the
Yeah, they
government,
control
they have
everything.
it all stockpiled away somewhere for them.
Right.
You
That's
know,
right.
we
There is not a food shortage. That's a myth.
So, I mean, myself, I wonder, my wonder is this: what is the agenda of the power elite? What is their true agenda? I know, one, they talk about colonizing Mars with the SpaceX and everything else, but I want to know, I want ready for the whistleblowers to come out with what the real agenda is down there in Antarctic, the North Pole, and what is this government putting together for the next 5 to 10 years? Because we all know it's something big coming. It's been too much going on with SpaceX and the takeover of the social networks. So we know that something is coming that's big. We got prisoners being let out. I'm looking for the whistleblower to tell me what's the real agenda for here 2022 to 2030, because something's happening.
Well,
I can feel it.
I think that's all tied in with what I was saying before about that false flag alien invasion.
Mm-hmm. You think we're getting the false flags now? I believe so. I really do. I believe the false flags is this Ukrainian war, and over here they were getting different scare tactics about
Oh
letting
yeah, I mean,
prisoners
you
out
know,
of jails.
I mean,
And all of
they want to defund the police. I mean, they want to let criminals out of prison. I
Mhm.
mean, you know, that COVID-19. I know I shouldn't be mentioning it. To my opinion, is that was just a test the waters to see how much control they could gain over the masses.
Yes, what they could make them do, make you
Right,
wear masks,
right,
make you
right,
stay in
right,
the house.
right,
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
Because when they start doing that, that's the first time in history that I know of that was on a. They wanted to implement the mandatory rules worldwide. So you
Mhm.
know they're up to something when they do that.
Right, exactly. That's my point. That was a test of worldwide
Right,
control.
right,
First test.
and
Second test is going to be
that's
like
right.
you said, those
And
holograms.
what is their agenda? To
Hmm.
control. They want a one world government. So I mean, the writing is on the wall. For anybody that can't see that is beyond me.
Yes, yes, that's what I say. So many people, even some of the ministers that I talk to sometimes are just blind to it because they're just so stuck on just what that word and what the preacher taught them before that. It's like we have to go from this generation of study and we have to keep following on. No, I'm like, okay, I'm black and I understand that we have to carry on our generation, but there's new things here. And me, I'm gonna say this, that me being black, and I'm proud to be black, but I'm proud, this is what I'm proud of, Bradley, to be somebody black and to be able to give them true information and pass it on to not just black people. We're all the
Right.
same color under this skin, but I
That's
don't
right.
want black people to be blinded about, real knowledge and different things that are being going on that the churches are trying to keep people stagnated, not just black, Spanish, Asian, every color,
Right.
just like
Right.
this shirt
You know,
is every color. We're
and
all
then
the same
and then
color.
and then by design with the government, you had what? Black Lives Matter. All lives
Yeah,
matter.
all lives matter. I mean, the
That's
Black
the bottom
Lives
line.
Matter was, some people debated that was just a point of that George Floyd just died like nothing. It wasn't no matter and it didn't matter. That's what Black Lives Matter. But then everyone was against it. But then, you had somebody got into the Black Lives Matter group that defunded them and did all kind of stuff that made it all bad. So, like I said, some different things, the military type of stuff, and
that's
things
all
like
by
that.
design. Yep.
Yeah,
Black
it's
Lives Matter was supported by terrorism, and
yes.
I posted All Lives Matter into 10 groups, and I got classed as a racist, and I had to remove the post.
Well, you know, me being black, of course, I'm gonna say, yeah, black lives do matter. I'm black, but you know, if I was someone of another color, all lives matter. I could say Black Lives Matter and all lives matter because my life and I being black, because
Yeah,
you know, blacks have been the target. I mean,
you
we
know,
know it.
common,
Some people want to sweep it under the rug, but they know that blacks have been the target for centuries. But you
you know,
know,
no
the
matter
reason
what, you know, common sense is no matter what ethnicity you are, we're all in this together.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly,
We
yes,
can choose
and
to make it
it's a hard
we can make
struggle.
it, we can choose to make it, you know, we can all unite and choose to make it a better place to live in, or just stay divided and put up with this, you know, with all the crap that's going on around us.
Right.
Yeah.
And you know what's amazing is that it's all put together, like you said. It's just that divide and conquer that's just put out
That's
there
exactly
by
right.
these different power structures. It isn't the
Exactly right.
government, it's the power elite structures that want to keep this and that and keep wars going. That's how they stay rich, stay
Yeah,
money.
the
They have
government. Yeah, yeah, the rich lobbyists. The government is basically a puppet on a string.
super
Yeah.
monopoly. The government isn't even listening to us anymore. But like I said, you're in UK, aren't you, Bradley?
Yeah, I am. Yeah.
Are you guys under the Queen there, or is it under like a government, or are you in England? I'm not sure about
We are
UK.
ruled by the government. We're ruled by the government, and not so much the monarchy. We got our queen is dead now. We have a new king, King
Right,
Charles.
right. I'm sorry, I forgot the Queen that died. But my
Yeah.
question to you is do you believe the government there is the same as the government here in the United States?
I would.
Dealing with disclosure of information, I should say. I'm not going to say complete the government, but UFO and alien. Do you believe they're the same,
Yeah.
or do you believe they're giving you guys more information there?
It's a conglomeracy. The governments all over the world are conglomeracy. They all signed the peace treaty regarding
Yeah, they're all in
Antarctica.
cahoots. They're all in cahoots. They're all playing the same game.
Yeah.
Well, from what I've heard, that there's more truthfulness over there. That they're giving more information because of there's more testing of alien technology going on over here. So you guys are getting more truth over there because you guys aren't seeing as much. It's going on over here and in Antarctic. That's why I was wondering, do you feel that there's anything different between the two, or do you think that they're pretty much a conglomerate as one?
Yeah, conglomerate. That's what they are. It will never be a full disclosure. It will be a soft disclosure as well when it eventually happens.
Yeah, they all have to be. They all have to be in sync if they want to be, you know, successful in
The only
agenda.
one,
Not a new world order.
the only ones who are not in sync are the Russians, and the KGB wrote a book allegedly contacting over 80 species of malevolent and benevolent beings, and I actually believe KGB. They don't tell
You know,
lies.
and it's not only the royals and large corporations. It's also the Vatican. The Vatican.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, sir.
The Russians are not part of the conglomerate.
It's supposed to be a meeting or something coming up here soon. Again, you know, when the church disclosed that they know that there's alien. It's supposed to be another meeting here, I believe, next year. That the church is supposed to be bringing out some more stuff out of their archives. That they got sued or something. That they're supposed to disclose more alien information that they have to. Because I can't remember the reason why. Someone have to look that up, and I have to tell you more on that. But
Well,
the church has to look.
if they're anything like the government, there'll be a lot of redaction on it. They wouldn't tell you much.
Right, and that's what they're saying. Just like how they blacked out most of the stuff that that CIA disclosed.
Yeah, of
It's gonna
course,
be
all them black op programs like MJ12 and all of them that
they
you
released
know
thousands of
they're
papers.
released. That's right, and 95% of them are redacted. So I mean,
Yeah,
they're
you can
not
see the
telling you
date.
anything anyway.
You can see the date, and on this day, such and such, and then black ink, black. What are you reading? Okay, take that back. That's funny, man. But hey, that's how they do it.
Sherry Brett said, "We are all being hid from the truth, and now it's hard to hide it. So they have no choice but to say something, but they never speak the important truth."
Hmm. Well, I'll say this, that we've known that politics and especially the presidency, they all make promises. That's what presidents do. That's what you do in politics. You make promises and you kiss babies and all of this other stuff. And then when you get in office, you have to do what those people that put you in that
Right.
office told you to do. So then it changes.
They're puppets
Yes,
on a string. Yeah.
exactly.
They
You're just a figurehead. You're not. And they said some presidents aren't even, disclosed on most of the information. There's different programs that presidents cannot be informed on
Yeah,
because
that's
they're
them
on the
black
air
op.
for you.
Yeah, that's them black budget programs. Yeah.
Hmm. And Donald Trump, he wasn't even allowed. There was someone, a liaison between him and the button in case that there was nuclear war because
Right.
because of his actions. So he wasn't even really a full president. He wasn't really considered a full president because of his actions. So, well, I'm not going to say a full president. He didn't have the powers, but each president has different powers that I don't know if people know about
Well,
majestic. But if
well,
you're
from
not
what,
in on the in circles like how George Bush Sr. was, he was the head of the CIA before he became a president. So of course he was in on pretty much anything that was going on around the world, from space to anything, which he still is.
well, from
That a
what
lot
I
of people
understand,
don't get.
with nuclear weaponry, the president would have to give the order to launch it, and there would be a procedure, like a combination of at least 3 people that would have to do certain things at certain intervals in order for the nuclear weapons to be launched.
Mm-hmm. They
It's
had
not
a
like
discussion.
anybody. It's not like
They had a
anybody single. It's not like any single person has a access to the button where he can just press it himself.
Well, they had said that during when I guess you go up those different stages, red level 1, 2, 3. When they get to a certain level, they put a colonel that was in charge of Donald Trump to when all the military comes together to decide if they was going to do it. He had to make the decision to give him the box or not. I'm not sure if that's true or not, but that's what's being said. They have a whole video about it. And Donald Trump talks about it in this movie. But the presidency and the government is something that a lot of people are never going to be able to have a say so in. And people think that you can go to a councilman or judge or to Supreme Court to get help in certain different situations legally. Yes, but when it comes to this disclosure or something dealing with knowledge or something that's going to affect us as a mass, we're not going to know. We're not going to know until we find out the hard way.
Exactly.
Now, unless our remote viewers and mystics inform us of it, just like they did in the past. That's why the prophecies of Jesus coming to help man. That's what he was prophesied about.
But the problem with that is the truth is hard to swallow.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It was hard for me. I'm pretty sure it was hard. It was hard for you all.
What's the hardest pill to swallow? That's the truth.
Yes. And I'm still got it stuck right here. I tell you,
That's right.
It's still stuck.
That's right. So I mean, you can teach, you can preach. As far as how effective it's going to be is questionable.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. I was gonna. Can I ask a question that might be a little bit off, Bradley? It's with the abduction with Jim. Jim, Do you
Yes.
think that when you got abducted, that aliens, when they put those implants in things in there, do you think that they want to lengthen the life of those people they abduct? Or do you think that they try to put something in there to give them an extra edge over the common man, so that you would be able to see a little more? You know what I mean? Have more sight,
Right.
not just visual
Right.
sight, but
Right.
sight.
Right.
Do you think
Yeah.
that that
Yes.
was done?
Yeah. In other words, to me, when it first happened, I was apprehensive. I was questioning my own sanity.
Mhm.
And it took a year and a half or just about 2 years for me to come out with it publicly. But during the course of all that time, I had to try to rationalize within myself what actually transpired and what it all means. So,
Did you see the psychiatrist?
in the meantime, I started getting telepathic downloads from the extraterrestrials, which gave me a much better understanding. Today, I can actually say that my outlook on life, nature, and the universe as a whole is completely different than what it was before the abduction.
For the better?
Did you see a psychiatrist?
Well, for the better, as far as my knowledge is concerned. Now, as I was saying before, I can relay to anyone what my opinions are or what knowledge I think I've gained from that particular experience.
Right.
But as far as them believing it is where the problem is. Not that I want to force or down anybody's throat what I spew, but in other words, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink.
Hmm. True. And with that, that's why I asked is because, like you guys was saying with this the topic today, you know, and life. If aliens Anunnaki gave us that DNA to help enhance life, and they're abducting people like yourself and enhancing life, I believe that some are trying to make life better, showing people like yourself that we are here to help. That's what
Right.
some of these abductions are for. Not just, I haven't seen any abduction with someone saying that, okay, I've seen the needle marks and the testing, but I haven't seen anyone come back with an extra arm, an extra nose, or with
Well, the
something
thing is,
burning on their head or torture. You know what I mean? So
the thing is, there will be an alien intervention so man doesn't destroy himself. Not necessarily because they have our best interests in mind, but due to the fact that the technology that exists today with nuclear weaponry and that hadron atom smashing collider, I mean, they don't know what they're playing with. Okay, so now, in other words, if we destroyed this planet, it would have a domino effect on the rest of the solar system. Okay, throw everything out of whack, which in turn would have an effect on the ETs as well. So it's not just to save man, but it's to save their own behinds at the same time as well. So, in other words, throughout history, as far as I know, we're actually an experiment by the ETs. Okay, and there's been different versions of the experiment from the beginning to where we are today. Now, if you want to talk about evolution, usually when a species evolves from one type of species to a completely other type of species, the older species becomes extinct. So now we got to ask ourselves this question, right? Why is it that we're still the great apes have been here for millions of years? Okay, now if we simply evolved from the apes, why have they been here millions of years and they're still sharing the earth with modern man? So if that was normal evolution, the apes should have been extinct by now, right?
And they should have evolved ahead of us.
Right. So what I'm getting at is, and there's also missing links from if you want to call it caveman, primitive man, Cro-Magnon man, all the missing links up to where we are today. What happened to the missing links? And the answer to that question is they were all versions of the ongoing experiment that didn't live up to the extraterrestrials' expectations were terminated when replaced by a newer version. Right now, we are the most recent version, but what I got to add to that is we're also the most lethal.
Yes. Yes.
So that's where the problem lies.
Lethal and self-destructive. Most definitely. But I that's why when I asked earlier, would you jump on that spaceship? I think I
would.
think
I would. Yep.
I think it'd be like a medical ride. They would fix everything on me. You know. I was thinking about.
It's funny that you mentioned that because I do have the ability to energetically heal others. I've been successful at it doing sessions over the internet, and I have people that can attest to that. And my buddy there, Jim McFarland, he had lung cancer about 2.5-3 years ago.
Yeah.
And he woke up about 3 o'clock one morning. And he said he seen 3 alien grays at the foot of his bed, and he was at the same time he was experiencing sleep paralysis. He couldn't move. The only thing he could move was his eyes. He seen them at the foot of the bed, and he said that the alien gray in the middle come around and went towards him, held out his hand. He said he had like 3 fingers and a thumb, and he was scared shitless. He said, but when the alien laid his hand upon his chest, when he laid his hand upon his chest, he said it was like God touched him. He said he had such a calm, heavenly feeling come over him. Wow. And his lung cancer was cured.
Wow. That's my buddy, the Elvis Presley's cousin.
Yes.
Love that guy. I love him. He love it. Hey Jim, if you're out there somewhere, buddy, I got my blue suede shoes.
Yeah.
But yeah,
and he's had other couple experiences that he can attest to as far as that goes.
Well, I was also talking to someone about your tattoos and how your tattoos changed, and you could see the difference in those different lines after your abduction. And that's why I was telling someone, remember, Bradley, I told you one time that I feel like my chemical makeup is different after I had that light beam touching me. I feel like there's something different about my moisture, you know, and it makes me think about your tattoo and how that tattoo changed. And it's like I feel my tattoos seem like they be moving sometimes. It's like my wings will be up here, and then I feel them kind of moving down. I'm like, what is my skin slipping off, or is something touching me? It's like sometimes, you know, I can feel a whole hand. And I used to just would feel a touch, Bradley. I see you there. I used to would just feel touches because, like I told you, I am a sensitive, and that, you know, sometimes they come to me, especially here in this house. But now here lately, I'm feeling hands. I can feel someone's leg. I'm laying on this bed. Someone like they'll prop their leg up on me. You know how like your girlfriend or somebody will put their legs on you? I'm like, what is going on around here? So that's why I keep the Bible in the window over there. I'll show you my shrines I have down here. So I keep my Bible in the window right here, and my ghost with my dragons and blades. But then you know, you guys are over here, all my energy power over here, my Bradley Powers, my Jim Andre, you know, and all my girls and everything else. So like I said, I try to keep my positive energies around me, because you know, a lot of people don't believe in, you know, it might be just spirits. People can call them what they want to, but you not only have ghosts and spirits, but now we have different beings. We have light beings. We have different type of cloaked beings, and you know, there's so many. Like you said, they've said it's over 85 different type of beings that the Russian KGBs have identified. I'm not sure how many there are. So anything that's new to me is not surprising, and I'm not scared no more. I'm just like, okay, what is it? You know, I'm at the point like, okay, what is it? What are you? Give me a sign so I can ask one of my friends so we can figure you out. That's where I'm at nowadays.
You know, the bottom line is it's all based on energy, just different outputs of frequency.
Yes. Yes. Most definite. Yes, most definitely. Because I'm definitely trying to keep mostly positive energy around me. I had a lot of negative, and I've done some practices that, like I said, I've seen from a few of the different groups, and like you said, with different meditations and bringing different things around me that just that push energy. What I mean by that is that when you have something that's been preyed on, whether it's preyed on by a preacher, I wouldn't care if it was a witch doctor, but if it's directed energy to dispel something, it's good. A
Right.
lot of people don't understand that there's
Well,
a lot of people, huh? Go ahead, please. I'm getting
that's
wrong
the
there.
thing. No, that's the thing, because you can use it for whatever you want. You can use it for a negative purpose or a positive purpose. You know, it
Right.
can work either way. And as Sherry Brett says, there's good and bad and all.
Yes. And sometimes negative energy is needed. Sometimes there's an overbalance, and some people don't understand that. You get some people that are so good can turn bad
Exactly.
because it's like because of their pride and their arrogance. And that's why I say that, with a lot of the preachers that come across, that I hate the fact the preachers with the Rolls Royces out front. There's a preacher here in Houston that has two churches. He takes a helicopter from one to the other service. He has Rolls Royces at each of them. I'm like,
Well,
this is ridiculous.
yeah,
What can you do?
there's some that have multiple private jets. You know how much those things cost.
Yes, they're here. We're here with Joel Osteen. I love Joel Osteen, but that's a worldwide ministry. But then you get these other guys. I mean, you got Cadillacs and Rolls Royces line. This is a pimp center. This isn't a church.
Right.
You have some of them here in Houston. I'm telling you, and they believe that. They believe in what people believe is, like you said, is what their world is going to be. Some people believe in the dollar bill, and that's all. This one guy, he actually prays to his money. And I was like, well, I don't know. I can't say that you can't, because, the dollar has power. It has energy. So if that's
Exactly.
your higher power, that's your
That's
higher
why
power.
that's why it's the biggest cause of greed.
Hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you have a lot of rappers that say that money is their religion. That it's not just a saying. There's a new religion. They pray to money now. Yeah, I'm like, wow, this is getting it's so far with different sects and occults and different things that it's branched out, that the main ones with the real knowledge, it's hard to decipher between what's real and what's not, because
You
it's
know,
so much fake in everything. It's
the
fake in
richest
religion. Huh?
the richest one of all is the Vatican. They've got
Yes.
more money. They've got more money than God, pardon the pun.
More money than anything. They have all the jewels of the earth, all the knowledge. They have that I would love to go down into that archive, or whatever, the vault or whatever it is they have down there. But they say that they're supposed to be investigating. There's a group that's going up under the church, where they hadn't been able to go up under there to see if the church has been hiding. I can't remember if it was alien artifacts or if it was serpent artifacts. But there was somebody that's supposed to be buried up under the whatever that main church is. I'm not too into conflict.
Arthur Stiller says travelers from the future said that money will become religion.
Yes, and it did. That's why they're trying to change it to cryptocurrency now.
Yeah. Digital money. Yeah.
1, 2, 3. There's a 5-second delay. It looks like from Chrome to, yeah, it's like a 5-second delay. 3. There it is.
Well,
Mr. Bradley.
Yeah, go on, Benny.
I want, I love picking you guys. Great brain. You guys are the wise men. Mr. Bradley, the dragons. The dragons. When you speak of the dragons, are you talking about the reptilians, I was watching a good video, and it was talking about the connection with the reptilians and the dragons. That the reptilians were the dragons.
Yeah. Yeah, I
How
don't
do you feel
actually
about that?
agree. I don't think they're related at all.
How
Dragons and
about the
reptilians are not the
how
same.
about the
Not
Dracos?
the
Yeah.
Dracos and the reptilians, or the Dracos and the dragons.
Yeah. Dragons exist in their own right. They're not related. They're not extraterrestrials, and they're not related to reptilians.
Not to either one.
No.
Okay.
Paranormal Brew is in the house. Hey, family. Hi, Paranormal Brew.
Hey,
Yeah. Well, it's been a very diverse show. We covered quite a lot of subjects as we normally do. It's a pleasure to have you on board, Benny. We'll have to have you back again. We can
thank
never
you
have
so
too
much.
much of Benny.
Oh yeah, Benny's always an interesting guest.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, guys. You guys are wise men, and I appreciate being on and listening to you guys all the time.
Yeah.
We try. All we can do is put forth what we think we know, and you know, it's up to them to take it from there.
Right. Hey, when you find something that you want to know about, it's time to investigate. You can't sit around and just wait for an answer to come to you.
Exactly. You know, they can do
time.
their own research and seek, you know, what they want to seek out.
Exactly. We can just bring it to you, and then you got to take it from there. And Godspeed to you. Mhm.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
I
that's
tell
right.
everyone, if the show's coming to an end here, God, you know, I don't know if you believe in God or not, but God bless you and your higher powers and everything. I wish you all safety and health and wealth, and let us all come together to make mankind, you know, become peaceful and love each other again.
Yeah,
And
the
that's what it's
bottom
all
line.
about.
The bottom line is we're all in this together.
Yes, sir. Whether it's 5 million of us or 95 billion of us, hey, whatever's here is what we got. And we have
That's
to
right.
stick together, you know, because there's other people that just think we're pawns here. And we have to live.
Arthur Stiller says, I love the Bradley Powers show. Thank you for
I
saying
do
that.
too.
It's very kind of you, Arthur Stiller.
Yay, Bradley Power Show with Jim Andre. Yay.
Arthur Stiller says, God loves Brad as we all are one. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you, Arthur. We are coming to the close of the show now. We've been going 90 minutes, and it's still you got enough out of Benny, and that's great news. Come back again, Benny. You're welcome.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Oh yeah, we'll have you on again. Yep.
I look forward to it. So you guys,
Yeah, you are.
and I will be picking you guys' brain as much as possible. You guys know that. So I've been sending you guys information, and thanks for answering back, and thanks to everybody out there for being great. Love you all.
Yeah. Thanks to everybody joining us here. We appreciate
Thank
it.
you so much. Thank you,
See you on
everybody.
the
Thank
next
you
one.
for joining. Thank you.
Peace. Godspeed. Bradley Parr Show.
Yeah, that went pretty well.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, thank you, Jim.
Oh, you're welcome. My pleasure.
Okay, see you soon, then, Jim. Thank you for your time.
Okay, let me know when you find out about the next one.
Yeah, I will. Okay, thank you, Jim.
All right. Okay, good night.
Good night.